This is the Girls of High Value channel. My name is Joseph Darling. Today we're going to talk about sexual transmutation and how it relates to women. Now this is a highly desired topic because we're talking about sexual transmutation on business channels and all those things for guys mostly. But women are like, but what about us? So how does it work for women? We need to understand that men and women are different. We're not only different, but we're opposites. We're opposites in pretty much everything, okay? And even though we're the same, we're all humans, we all got a brain, we all got a reproductive system. That reproductive system creates different kinds of hormones in our bodies and different kinds of wiring in our brains. So, for men, how does sexual transmutation work? Number one, it's semen retention. They need to retain the energy and then keep it in their bodies. And they do that by being disciplined and focused and da-da-da-da-da, right? They're basically moving towards masculinity. Retaining their sperm means that they're becoming more and more masculine because it requires discipline for them to do so. Lots of discipline. For women, on the other hand, the way to sexual transmutation is their femininity. Sexual transmutation comes from a book named Think and Grow Rich by Napoleon Hill. So that's where the concept is from. But there's another book called 7 Habits of Highly Effective People, written by Stephen R. Covey. In that book, Stephen R. Covey explains about the concept of climbing the ladder of success. Now, what is truly success? Like, we've got to understand what success is, because sexual transmutation is a way for us to achieve long-term success. But what is the end in mind? What is the goal? So Stephen R. Covey has the concept of begin with the end in mind, and then he has the other concept of climb the ladder of success. And when you set up the ladder, he explains, is that you need to lean it against the right wall. Because if you lean your ladder of success and you keep climbing it, and then it was the wrong wall, oh my gosh, what was the purpose? What was the heartache? What was the headache? What was all those things that I've gone through for nothing? You've got to know what the right wall is. So, for guys, for masculinity, the ladder of success is power. Now, what does power mean? Well, it's basically that they have massive ability to provide for themselves and for a lot of others, okay? And they've got massive ability to protect. Those two things are the responsibilities, the obligation, the duty of a man to achieve. If he climbs that ladder of success, of power, he's supposed to have power as he produces win-win situations. Okay, it's not from forcing other people that he gets power or by pulling people down. No bad things are going to happen by guys seeking for power. Because the ones who have power the wrong way are going to be brought down. The right guy with the right power are going to be able to take over and put them in their right place. So always understand that everything's going to work out in the end. That's fantastic to know, by the way. So men have the ladder of success being power. For women, what is their ladder of success? The ladder of success for women also has to do with emotion. Remember, for guys, it's power, but really it's the emotion that we desire from power. Like if we have lots and lots of power, like we can provide for millions of people and we can protect millions of people, but no one likes us, then that power is wasted and it's not really power anyway. True power comes from people actually being attracted to us and desiring to be with us for who we are. Not because of the money, not because of the protection, not because of all that stuff, but simply because they love being around us and they love how we think. That creates human connection. For women, it's also the emotion at the end of the road. But women, once they get money and once they get power, once they get recognition, once they get all of those things that men are supposed to be seeking after, if women start climbing that wall, what's going to happen? Well, this is what's going to happen. They're going to feel good sometimes. They're going to feel good because they're better than other people. They're going to feel good because they achieved something that other people didn't achieve. Now, this is for guys, okay? Because guys actually manage to take all those those things away. Like they manage, because they understand that they've got to be servant leaders and they've got to build people up in order to retain the power, right? Because it's not enough to get it. In order to have power, you've got to retain it. You've got to keep it. For women, however, once they climb that wall, they don't realize that it's going to continue forever. Like you'll never be able to just simply relax and let go, because there'll always be someone who passes you. There'll always be someone who achieves more than you. There's always going to be someone who rejects you. And women are driven by human connection. They're not driven by money. They're not driven by respect. They're not driven by, I'm going to be better than everyone else. And if they do that, human connection is taken away, they're rejected, and then they reject others, and that ends up being the end, and that's it. That's not the right wall for women. You're basically going towards masculinity and cutting off all emotion in you. Remember, the goal is emotion. Guys actually develop emotion from having power because they get human connection, the good guys who have developed power. They've got massive amount of human connection. But women, when they seek out the ladder and climb it, guess what? Their stress levels are far beyond those of guys, and they're afraid of losing it, and they will lose out to other people because they can't keep it up as well as the other people can. What is the desire of women? What is the emotion that women truly desire to have all the time? All the time. That emotion is something that they actually can get very quickly. It's not something that comes at the end of the tunnel when you're financially free, when you've achieved all of those things and blah, 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 blah. This is something that can happen very, very, very quickly. Man, the Lord truly blessed women because of this concept. What it is for women to return to their youth. And I'm not talking about, drinking some youth elixir of something. I'm talking about women letting go of masculinity, taking responsibility off from them, and just letting go of all of the burdens and all of the things that the world is throwing your way, and seek femininity. The wall for women is to enjoy their femininity, and climbing that wall is sexual transmutation for women. Why? Because if you look back, if you think back on your teenage years, and also when you were a kid, okay, this is how it works. You were practicing sexual transmutation at that time. And you were not even having sex most of the time, right? Actually, the fact is, the moment you started practicing sex, the sexual transmutation didn't work anymore because you were automatically rejected. And that rejection turned to masculinity. This is what happens to teenage girls. When they're virgins, when they have no sexual experience and they're thinking about it and they're wondering how it's going to be, and they have fantasies and they've got this and that and the other, and they're so curious, and they don't. Suddenly, once it happens, once they actually have sex, it's like, was that it? And it's like, yeah, it was really nice, but is that it? And then they're more like, their curiousness moves into like, now they're gonna be like disciplined to figure this thing out. Like they want to keep having sex, and then they get multiple partners and they keep getting rejected, which is basically climbing the wrong wall again. Understand, women, that masculinity is not the wall you want to be climbing towards. You want to be climbing towards femininity, and that thing is so easy. How do you apply sexual transmutation? Simply move towards femininity, unburdening yourself from the things from this world and allowing yourself to become a girl again. A girl that is filled with sexual desire because she can, and because she's not really caring about the things of the world. It sounds a bit reckless now, and obviously you can't just quit your job and quit everything and I'm just gonna be a girl and not care about anything, obviously, right? but you can work towards it. You can have it as your end goal. You can have it as a motivation for you, like, I want to get that emotion. And what emotion is that truly, Joseph? What emotion is it? Women desire to be in love. Women desire to be turned on all of the time, and they desire to be accepted, loved, desired. They want good, deep relationships. That's what you desire more than anything else. And guess what? Most of those relationships, maybe not the sexual one, it's not there yet perhaps, but the other ones can be developed right here, right now. And the best way to do that is to get rid of the worldly things and start focusing on your femininity, including people into your life, people that you know love you, that accept you, that think like you, and if you don't have any of those, it's time to start working on finding them. If you're gonna be disciplined on some things, be disciplined on the important things. I made a video a couple of days ago called Women Desiring versus Needing Sex. And masculinity needs sex in order for them to remain, sane and stable. But femininity desires sex. It's a completely different story. It's a completely different mindset, and it's completely different emotions. Once you understand that, you can start liberating yourself, and that's what I'm going to talk about in the next video. Hope you stay tuned to this channel. My name is Joseph Darling. It's the Girls of High Value channel. I'll see you again in the next video.